Welcome to Talk Purpose and Truth, shifting you into higher consciousness. A show that elevates, uplifts, and encourages listeners to grow, heal, awaken, and evolve. Eden and Kim include bold topics, interviews with inspiring guests, experts, and celebrities, intuitive readings, channeled messages, mental health awareness, and hot topics to expand your awareness. Tune in for unprecedented truth, authenticity, on-purpose discussions, and magical moments.
Watch a multitude of reality shows usually, and my husband, I joke because he jokes around when the guys are asking him who they think are going to win the Super Bowl. He'll be like, "Well, I'm worried about who's breaking up with who on Vanderpump Rules," and the guys look at him like, "Okay." I think he even came on and talked to Sheena about that on a past episode.
Yes.
And so we found this reality show produced by Jimmy Fallon called Clash of the Cover Bands on E! And Adam Lambert is one of the judges. I love him so much and have followed him since American Idol, and saw him with Queen and saw him solo, and Meghan Trainor, and there's like I think Twitch is the host, and there's just some great people. Yeah. And one of the winners of one of the episodes really just inspired me and caught my eye, and I was like, maybe if I find her on social media, she'll come on our show. And we just got lucky. So Erika Moul is a Lady Gaga impersonator, or a Lady Gaga tribute artist, I like to say, because she has her own gifts and talents. And she won that episode over a guy who was impersonating Elton John, and we get to have her on our show today. So welcome, Erika.
Hi. Thank you so much for that introduction. That was so sweet.
Yeah, and I feel even more honored because she just told us that she literally just moved, and moving is like one of the top 3 stressors, and you managed to find time to be on the show, so thank you.
Of course. Honestly, I love everything that you guys talk about on your shows, and I was going through, some of the things that you've posted, and I went, yes, like, why aren't we talking about more of this? This is so, like, I'm really passionate about finding your purpose and talking about it, because, I mean, what else is there?
Yes. Oh, good. Well, so it's very serendipitous that you got magnetized to us and us to you. And so how did you get started performing? I know I watched your story on the show, and you just had so much drive and tenacity. But what I liked also is that you were very vulnerable about what your insecurities were in the past and how you overcame them. So can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Yeah, so I started doing musicals growing up, and I was always someone that was drawn to the theater and wanting to entertain people. Socially, I was extremely awkward and very much introverted, but I felt like, even just like around my family, I'm like, why is everyone staring at me? I feel like I have to do something. And so I had this like urge to just like say, okay, well, if you're gonna look at me, like, I'll just make a weird face, or like I just don't. It was sort of this uncomfortability that I just always had, even as a child, where I was aware, just so aware all the time of people looking at me or asking me questions, and I just felt like, I think I'm supposed to entertain you. And it just started becoming, I was really close with my family, and I grew up just being at home all the time, outside, and playing with my sisters and, the neighbors. And I would always just like, I'd say, okay, we're going to do a play today, and we're going to talk about this issue and how, like, we share our toys, and like,
how
I was always
so
making...
like an adult. So adult,
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yep. I was like, I felt like I was babysitting also myself, where I'm like, I go, okay, I need to learn something, and when I can put it visually into a scene. I was always making scenes and skits. Even when my parents would drop me off to the neighbor's house, they would say, okay, have fun. And then they'd come to pick me up and I'd go, okay, here are your tickets and your brochures. And I'd sit down and we had like this whole show and they're just sitting here going, what? Like, you did this all day?
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of followed that through high school. And in college, I was studying acting, and I was so drawn to the human condition and being able to study a person like from their objectives or their intentions. Oh no, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it cut out a tiny bit. Did it cut out?
Sorry.
We can do a retake on part of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Don't worry, I can punch you in.
Okay.
It's fine.
Where did it leave? It said internet connection.
Yeah, he'll be able
to study a person like from their objectives or their intention. Oh no. Yeah. Can you hear me?
It seems like it went.
In condition and being able to
Let's do it right before there.
and I was so drawn to the human.
Right there, cut out. See.
Yeah, good.
In college, I was studying.
Let's
Right
do it
there,
right
after
after
she
college.
Yeah.
Right
College.
after college, she said, do you want to cut out the
Might as well.
Just
Right
when you
right
finish
after
in
college.
I do a lot.
In college, you pause and then just start talking.
Yeah, right
Okay.
after college, I'll punch in. Here we go.
In college, I was studying. Okay.
Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, right after college.
After you hear yourself say studying, you start talking.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Okay, talk for a second. Let's make sure it's not cutting out.
Hi, my name is Erika, and I'm an idiot.
Oh, no, you're not. Okay, right after that sentence, here we go.
In college, I was studying theater and acting as well as directing, and I loved looking at people and observing them in their natural habitat and being able to say, what are they thinking about as they're going through the lunch line or they're walking to class. And we were just taught to be so aware and observant of everything about a person. And then I started going, oh my gosh, what about myself?
Mm-hmm.
What do people see from me all the time? How do I stand? How, do I toss my hair? Do I, how do I eat? How do I breathe even? And I became so obsessed and just in love with finding out objectives and intentions of why people do things, why they are the way they are, and what causes what. And I loved being in school, and finding Gaga was actually she was a character that became someone that I just began studying for 10, 11 years by accident. It was totally by accident, but consciously a choice because I wouldn't want to study anyone else.
And
She's so amazing.
I feel like that was also like a calling for you, like you felt called to her.
Yes, yeah, she's very self-aware, and I think she's also someone that I resonate with everything that she says, everything that she represents, where I go, yes, like this is what I'm too afraid to say a lot of the time. And being able to have someone say it, you're just like, thank you, like I needed to hear this. And growing up in college and everything, you want to discover who you are. You want to know your purpose. And there's a sense of the calling and having that, okay, I really like this, and I feel like I'm good at this, and I feel like I'm drawn to this. And there's a reason for that, because that is your calling. And if you keep hanging up the phone, it's going to keep calling. So you might as well pick up and say, what do you want? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
because Eden, you
the-
had, wait,
yeah.
I remember, that makes me think of you, Eden, because I know that you know, Eden is a medium, and you had many years where you were like, even though it was your calling, you would hang up the phone and be like, nope, I'm going to do this. Nope, I'm going to do this, until you were like, okay, this is really what I'm supposed to step into, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know the difference, the way it feels too. All the other things that I tried were like forced, and it was about money, making money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this is like I don't even have to think about the money. It just flows, because I know I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing.
Do you feel like the universe puts things in your life that allows you to continue? Like you
Yes.
don't, you're like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna spend all my money on dancers and band and costumes and just, I mean, maybe it's different for you, but where you plan this huge thing and you don't think about the how, you just think about the why.
Right.
And I have to do this because this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it just happens. And it's just this magical thing.
Right, absolutely. Like, they asked Oprah in an interview, they said, Oprah, why do you do what you do? And she said, I can't not do it. It's just, I'm pulled. Like, I'm just magnetized to do it. It's just like breathing, you know? And they're like, well, you don't even need to. You have enough money. But it's just like breathing. So, you know what I mean? So it's so beautiful, though, when someone gives into that and allows it in, because I think so many people focus on what they can't do, or they think they shouldn't do, and then they don't find their purpose, or they don't allow it in,
or they have the disapproval from their parents that, you know, what they really want to be doing, it's not good enough, or, you know, it's the status around that is not as, it's not as high, or so then they go for something else, what they think they should be doing according to what other people think they want for them. So
totally.
So do you feel like that now with what you're doing?
Yes. So just to touch on the parent thing, because I would never, my parents are so supportive of, if I told them I was going to be a couch potato, they'd say, okay, you figure it out. They're super supportive, but I do, there were moments that they said, okay, but do you have a backup plan? And they go, do you know what that means? And I just said, I go, no, because there is no backup plan. And I said, I never forget this day. My dad will never forget it. Is I said to my dad, I said, Dad, I don't know how, I just know I'm going to make it. And I'm going to be fine. And I think when you make a backup plan, you're already setting yourself up for, I'm not going to make it. And it's that doubt in yourself that you're putting out there. I don't want to fail. And I don't think that people should put out the things that they don't want, but they should put out the things that they want and focus on that, because you're putting out into the universe, like, I want this. I need to be here. This is what makes me happy. And you're putting that frequency. I always talk about we're made of water, and water's a conductor of energy. And I'm like, we're just bags of energy wandering around, and everything that we charge ourselves with, like, we pass on to others, and we pick up other people's energies. So I'm always like, just be positive, say what you want, don't think about, you know, what can go wrong, because when you think about what can go wrong, it'll go wrong. Murphy's Law. You can't. You're like, no, that doesn't exist in my world.
Yep.
You have to make your own world, and regardless of acceptance from parents or approval from other people, your reality in your life is determined by your thoughts, your interpretation of your reality. And when you can say, I'm happy, or I feel this is bringing me joy, this is bringing me purpose and other people joy, that's success.
Yep.
Money can't buy that.
No.
Yeah.
I have been rich, I have been dirt poor, and I'll tell you right now, I am so much happier dirt poor. Like, I'm just gonna say it because it's like, when you have all this money and everything that you think you want, it doesn't buy you happiness, and it doesn't solve any problems that really matter.
Right.
And when you don't have your health, that was actually a point in my life when I actually had skin cancer, and I was 22. It was horrible. It was just like, I'm sorry, what? I didn't hear what you just said. Like, the room goes foggy. But I had everything. I was like, I'm in all of these shows in Las Vegas, and I have all this money that I've saved, and I'm living the life that I want, and now I'm sick. And it was devastating, because I go, wow, like, this is so eye-opening that I can have everything that I thought I wanted, but I'm so unhappy and scared to death. Yeah. And it was just, that's when I was like, you know what, I'm not going to work myself to death anymore. I'm going to say no. I'm going to do what I want and feel called to do, because I could die tomorrow. I could die at the end of this interview. I don't know. Plane could fall through my roof. Like, you just don't know. And finding your I'm sorry, I'm like blabbering.
It's very inspiring.
So I'm like, I just love this topic, because it's so important for people to listen to what's calling them, and to say, okay, I'm listening. You know what you love, go there. I forget who said that. Oh my gosh.
Gaga, not Gaga.
Oh, it's a yoga guy. Oh, it's horrible. Is it Rumi? No.
It might be. That's okay. But have you met her, Lady Gaga?
I have. Okay, but not in the sense that I call it a meet cute. I don't know if anyone knows. Do you know what a meet cute is?
No.
Okay. It's a moment in a movie where, like, the two love interests, like, meet, and it's by chance, serendipity. We had a meet cute where I was walking. We were in Boston. I was not supposed to see her concert. My boss actually surprised me with tickets, because she goes, hey, I got tickets, and you told me you couldn't afford these, and you had a show that night, so I'm just going to give you these. And I went, shut up. Manifesting. I'm telling you.
Right.
I said, I'm going to go. I just don't know how I'm going to make it. I was performing in Salem, New Hampshire, and my show ended pretty much like 45 minutes before her show started. And
oh my God.
Yep. So my boss was like, figure it out. And I go, holy crap. So I left the stage full costume. There's no time to change. Why would I? Because I look, whatever. So I leave, I'm like full sprint, heels in the parking lot, drive to Boston, and we get in through, so she had her first like set of songs, and then I come running in during a blackout in the stadium, in the rafters, the nosebleeds, because I'm cool. And the people around me were like, "Oh my God, Lady Gaga's making her next entrance up here." And I, no, because I was in like full costume and wig, and you know they have security like rushing me down to my seat, and I'm in full costume, and they're going because she had just left the stage, so they're like, "How did she get up
Oh
here?"
my gosh.
And I was like, they go, "Are you really her? Are you really her?" And I have all these camera phones on me, and I was just like, no. And I was like, oh boy. And then she comes back out on stage, and I went, "See, that's her." I was like, "It's not me."
Oh my God.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. It was so like I just forgot about that, but that was really funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
After the concert, I went to visit my friend who was performing next to the House of Blues. And she goes, "Come do a Gaga song or two. It would mean the world to me." And I said, okay. So I went over there and I started singing Born This Way. And this is after Gaga's, you know, Joanne tour at Fenway Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the first woman to have a concert there, by the way, which was awesome. Yeah, I was like, yes, finally. Doing things that, you know, should have been done how long ago?
Right.
But she was actually doing a surprise performance at the House of Blues next door to where I was singing, which was right across from Fenway.
Uh-huh.
I had no idea. I had walked past her, and she was inside, and the doors have these like weird doors that open up kind of like a garage. And she walked past one and waved at me in this blue gown. And I just was like, "Hey girl." I was like, "I don't know you." And I kept walking because I couldn't see her. I just saw like someone waving and trying to get my attention. And I was like, I go, "Hi, yes." And I went, "Oh, they probably think I'm Gaga and I shouldn't have wore this." Like,
oh my gosh.
And it was her.
It was her, because I come outside and people are like, "Lady Gaga's coming out right now." And there's just all of these fans, like cameras. I still to this day, like, I get mixed feelings about it because it was a traumatizing moment, and also like this, holy shit, she's right there. I'm so sorry.
Right.
It's okay.
It's fine. But it was like she gave you her approval.
Yeah, I felt like she got into her limo and she saw me and she was like, "It's you." And I'm like, holy crap. Like, are you
talking to you?
And I'm like, "Hi." It was so, and then she comes out the roof. I have a video of this. I'll have to show you. But she comes out of the roof of her limo and she reaches her hand out as she's driving by and she touches my hand.
Oh,
Drive away. This is why it was a meet cute, because I go, out of anyone, she touched my hand. She was looking at me, and I had an American flag, which I actually have right here. I've kept it. And I'm like crying into my American flag, like, oh, like, I can't believe that happened. Like, this is,
oh my gosh.
That is exactly how I wanted to meet her, is a complete accident, complete meet
serendipity.
Yes. And I
love it. It's like the movie Serendipity, that kind of stuff happens.
Yep.
Were you dressed as her at that moment?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what she gave her approval. You know, we know her choreographer, Richie Squirrel, who's been on pretty much every tour with her. He was on our show.
Oh, really? Oh, I missed that one. I'll have to watch that one.
Yeah, you'll have to go back.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to Talk Purpose and Truth podcast. Find out more at talkpurposeandtruth.com. And follow us at Talk Purpose Truth on Instagram and Facebook.